it's up to him. Whatever he wants to run, I think he's should be able to do fine regardless. I see a lot of value out of both.
We're getting the Undying as well. You love to see it.
I don't even care about that, dude. It's a D Stones Invoker, man. Like this is
right.
I actually screw you. I don't give a damn about it.
How could the man be called Undying and almost never play the Undying? And when he does, in a potential to 2-0 the second place team, you don't get at least a little bit hype. Never mind, it wouldn't be 2-0. There would be to come back 1-1.
It's okay. That's right, though. I see where you're going with it. Because you have been asking for it for pretty much the entire season. Every game we get to cast them. You're like, come on, dude.
It's especially worse because they almost never ban it. They like let it through to the other teams. So you have Undying playing against the Undying.
Let us see. I think we should have a pretty good game in store for us. I think a lot of the early game is going to come down to the Lesh. Supports are pretty level reliant. And you don't really have playmakers. We don't see... Like, Tide doesn't particularly like to be that first person blinking in. Is a great counter initiator, which you, I guess, can do with the Lesh into the middle. So, we'll see. I think we are in store for a very exciting game. I favor Dai's lineup, though. But
Bright have like almost zero catch until Lion gets a blink dagger, right? Yeah. Like, how are you starting these fights? It feels like they're going to be sitting very passive, and maybe once Lion hits level 6, you'll get a lucky hex into a split earth, into a finger of death to be able to kill someone. But outside of that, how are things actually, going to be happening for you?
So do you feel like that's the biggest concern for this Bright lineup for you personally?
Yeah, I would say so. It's just, I don't want to say it's a do-nothing lineup, but it's hard to do a lot. You're going to get a lot of farm, for sure, but it's not like they're slow or inactive in their cores on Lonely Rock and Roll. You've got a Nature's Prophet. He's going to be pretty active. You've got an Invoker who looks like he's going the Quaswex build. Won't be able to land the EMP onto Phoenix, I don't think. And then, of course, a Slark. He just needs, either a Diffusal or an Echo Saber, and then straight into the Ags, and then he's good to go.
So my concern for Dire is just I don't know how this bottom matchup's going to go. So how do we think it's going to shape up? Because the anti-mage is really rising, of course, in popularity, something that Bright really prioritize. And I think he's a much better laner than what he used to be with the changes. So
sure, but he does
a lane.
I mean, he's going aggressively onto the Nature's Prophet. But again, my concern still remains that if he doesn't have an Orb of Venom, and you don't have a support that has an Orb of Venom or some kind of stun or slow, you're not going to be able to get onto him. And both of these heroes kind of suck at dealing with multiple units in lane. Like, Anti-Mage is purely single target until he gets that Battle Fury. Like, he's making some aggressive plays to be able to get a bit of harass off, but you're not going to stop Nature's Prophet from farming, I don't think.
Yeah, and with looks like Boots, he's got queued up first here for the Furion, so that's going to help him even more with his repositioning tool.
We're looking to try and body block him as he tries to run back under the tower. Of course, very important to try and secure as many of those water runes as possible to give D-Stones a solid lane. Actually walks up and gets stunned, but again, he's Quaswex, so should be able to just regen it up with those Quas Orbs.
They've done a pretty good top lane with the creep positioning. Usually Tidehunter often will shove the lane out. Imitator was able to stop that small camp pull that Bocce was looking for. So, of course, the Slark needs kind of the full length of the lane as well to chase down heroes. So, off to a pretty good start here, at least in their off lane for Bright.
Hart's getting a lot done as well. And now I kind of feel like he doesn't really care. Like, he wants a 1v1 matchup. He's got his Ring of Health. He's going to be able to make these aggressive jumps in onto the Nature's Prophet. And, I mean, if he goes down to 0 mana, that's when you actually don't need that slow setup to be able to find that kill threat, or at least force him out of lane. So the fact that he was been able to last hit so well in these first few lanes, I've just been watching, like, how good the mechanical skill has been, and he's come out on top. Support's just following each other around in the jungle as well. Doing a little bit of a chase. Might be able to scout out this courier, but Undying. He just wants to have all those mangoes available for himself. And this is what I was talking about, right? You're just able to chase in onto the Nature's Prophet. I don't know if this is a game where you need Vanguard. I think you just need to try and get into that Battle Fury as quickly as possible. Even against the Treants, feel like the Ring of Health is going to be just fine. They're actually going to look to make a play onto the MP. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if they went deep, he would have been able to pop the Magic Wand just so that he's not getting consistently slowed. Of course, he needs that to be able to resummon the Treants. Actually looking to put a little bit of focus onto that Tombstone now, but just gets denied in his face. So they're making better trades overall on Team Bright right now. Already 600 more net worth on this anti-mage. It's, like, this is purely based on outlast hitting.
He does have a gigantic wave coming in, though, for Nature's Prophet, so should be able to catch up a little bit if he can see us perfectly under the tower. Important for him to be able to get an experience as well. This is a hero that can catch up pretty easily, so we'll see if he's able to do so. Really, for me, though, mid lane, seems like D-Stones isn't particularly bodying Phoenix. He's also going for a different build. He had the Meteor Hammer queued up for a little bit, but he's got the Treads queued up now. That's also a nice Courier Snipe, taking rid of the Gloves of Haste, which can definitely help the Slark to be able to continue to play aggressive over Irving.
They're pinging out the Lion as well, just saying, hey, make sure you're backing off, because he could look to make a bit of a movement towards that mid, look to set up with a kill, and of course you can't really be dying in lane as an Invoker with all those sustained tools that you've got for yourself. Looks like he's prioritizing a little bit more harassment, though, coming out with the third point into the Wex. And top, Big Can's actually the one that's getting chased down a little bit here. They've got the Hex available if they want to be able to try and make a bit more of a move onto him. Haven't been able to land the mana drain just yet. They're instead going to prioritize Bocce just to push him out of the lane. But even Tidehunter's doing fairly well in this top lane, I have to say. Not really what we were expecting, was it?
No, I thought Big Cam was going to have a better time. Lane making a go on to Undying. Still yet to have our first blood of the game as well. So this would be a big kill if D-Stones can find her. One House should help him continue to chase under the tower. He's going to be cautious over the turn potential as well from Phoenix. He's going to show up off the back of the Invis rune. And surprises them with all the damage that he's got. So 1-for-1, of course, D-Stone's pretty happy. He's going to lose his ward, unfortunately. And he's going to change his build again. Looks like D-Stones is looking for the urn.
Don't hate it. Again, it's just more stuff that's going to prevent the anti-mage from blinking away. Looking to try and slow down this game as much as possible. Remove the mana pool of Phoenix. Make sure that you clear out some of the wave. Get the siege creep hitting into the tower as quickly as possible so that you can remove it and open up the potential for you to play elsewhere without the concern.
First rotation out of Imitator. They've even got Undying with a long wraparound as well. Oh, it's a huge mana void. When how is going to be traded as well as a result to Heart already having his ultimate to work with. So this anti-mage lane is continuing to be off to a flying start here.
413 damage off of that mana void. I mean, they're playing up against 2 int cores. AM still feels pretty good despite picking it in the first phase if you're able to get out of the laning phase in this good of a shape.
And importantly, he's got such a net worth lead over the Slark, who can be a bit of an issue if Slark is playing with an even gold or even a little bit higher as well. So, really, really important start. Mid lane, they might be able to get another kill into Imitator. He's going to tick out to the dual breath. He will. They don't get urn charges though, unfortunately, and Bocce's going to go down. So, not the worst. Phoenix can be rewarded with the kill. So, you're honestly pretty happy with that for Radiant, considering you didn't give the urns over.
Yeah, I mean, that's clearly the most important thing, is just having those urns for the chase down potential, because their lockdown isn't reliable at this stage. They'll see the rotating bottom with this haste rune, so anti-mage needs to be careful to have Imitator playing out in front of him if possible. They might even look to go for a little bit of a turnaround play here off the back of that vision.
These stones.
Yep.
The call. They even bring the Jakiro down to bottom. Heart's not an easy kill. Make the attempt. They've got the Ice Fire to burn all his mana. A defensive use of the Tombstone, though. So they're a bit cautious about running under that objective. Maybe they can use the Treants to try and tank up a little bit. But Radiant, okay,
they don't want to fight into this Tombstone. They know it's got 2 points into it as well. they'll get a free kill.
Looks like they will indeed. Jakira's going to go down, so D-Stone's in his first real big rotation's not going to pay out. And they're pinging him.
Heart's still coming. They really want to slow him down if they can. Ooh, it's a little too slow. But, I mean, the happiest one about this is Nature's Prophet finally getting a little bit of time in this lane to be able to pick up some farm for himself. He's got the Javelin coming out, so despite playing in the off lane, he's looking to green it up a little bit. I guess the Glipnir as well into the Anti-Mage does feel nice, just for that AoE route. That you can at least Manta it off, but you can only have so many of those things. Also wants the Manta for potential Orchid even on D-Stones if he chooses to go into that.
Top lane, this is big. Imitator's going to get scouted out with the ward. So they'll get the kill into the line. They're a little bit too slow. Maybe with the Tornado. Clips onto Irving. EMP is going to burn all the mana. He'll get the Ravage off still. But the Cogs holds him into place. Again, another defensive tombstone. So Dire won't be able to commit too heavily. You burn the Ravage, which is still a very, very long cooldown. But we see Undying's playing a pretty good game so far with his positioning to protect some of the cores.
Wenhau's going to at least be able to steal away the regen rune, but yeah, like you said, mid tower, it's under threat. They're looking to try and get a quick kill onto him, and they should, with the cold snap into the urn, into the EMP.
They're gonna have the damage?
I thought they would. Without the tombstone available, I really thought they could.
Oh my lord, he lived. And meanwhile, they're gonna kill onto the Nature's Prophet across the map.
Is that just a solo kill? No, the two of them.
Dire's bottom tower is under.
You've got to get the levels up.
To the tower too. Potato, just enabling the siege crypt to stay alive.
And he's 6 now. They didn't need the Finger of Death. Must have picked it up off the back of the kill. So he's a level 6 before the supports on Dire. And we need to see that because we saw what the Jakiro and Clockwork were able to do. Was it last game or was it earlier today? The games are blending together. But
earlier today, I think.
So that when you do get that hook shot into Macropie, it's a lot of damage to whoever's inside the cogs. But until then, we see they're currently lacking it.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Even gets the deny off onto his own tower, so a little bit of gold going the way of his team. And Hart's going to be able to back off, already getting pretty damn close to that Battle Fury for himself. Going to be a really nice timing. Does Big Ken have the Echo Saber? Okay, so he's got Echo Saber at least coming out, but I mean, it's into a Meteor Hammer coming through at him. It's into a Leshrac that he's having to, contest against. It's not the easiest game for a Slark to play by any means.
No, they've got to be really quick with this smoke. Ravage is up in 30 seconds. So it looks like Radiant are even going to smoke into them as well. The fight right now would probably favor Dire.
It's almost the state where it doesn't feel great, but you got to take out that Undying. The Tombstone is just stopping a lot of their aggression.
Well, Nature's Prophet mid is also going to be cautious. They might catch out Undying in the river. They're a little bit hesitant about continuing on. They'll scout him out with the Rocket Flare, but really they don't know where the Lesh or the Lion is. So both sides won't get anything out of the smoke. Does look like maybe some wards will get dropped though.
Maybe trying to get a bit of push happening mid, but you can just see Tidehunter instantly TPs there to be able to protect this tower. I mean, we were seeing before, like, you mentioned just the 30 seconds away on the...
Oh, aggressive jump, Wenhau. They're looking to try and force the issue. Bocce's going to be a little bit too late. They'll try and lay down the combo. D-Stones has to put himself further in the middle to get the kill, but there's no one there to clip him as he's retreating away. So, a couple of charges, but... Space Danog. Hart has got... Oh, dude, what a timing. The Battle Fury. 13 minutes with treads and wand. That's probably one of the fastest I've seen.
Yep. Exceptional timing coming through from him. The one plus side, though, for Bocce is that you've got this Invoker who has the Spirit Vessel now. So even if Leshrac looks to get into the Bloodstone, you're going to have a pseudo way to be able to counter it. And you've got ways to be able to get right on top of him, right?
Bottom lane, Hart, he's in trouble. Can they scout him out? Rocket Flare? Not far enough. That ward, huge for the Heart to be able to get the blink away. They were so close to catching him out.
So you have to wonder, like, who is Greed actually going to favor here? It kind of seems like they're on different pages, with the Maelstrom now being picked up by the Nature's Prophet. He can farm a lot quicker for sure, but it's against a Leshrac who could flash farm, it's against an Anti-Mage who could flash farm, and it's against a Tide Hunter who feels sort of unkillable right now. So with the Slark going into the Diffusal Blade first, it kind of slows down that timing a little bit of just rushing into the Aghanim Scepter. You know, you're not going to get the value disassemble from the Echo Saber. So it really feels like you're slowing your game down a little bit too much.
Jump onto Undying. Can he get the Tombstone off before he dies? Look at the kill and zap away. So a trade in supports. These Stones might be in trouble. It just runs straight through the Ice Path. Kraken Shell doesn't give a damn about the stun, so the Ravage going to be able to set up for Phoenix. And D-Stones will end up going down. 3 points to the Kraken is all Irving needs. It was a great placement with the Ice Path, but unfortunately...
I didn't even see a stun bar, dude. What was going on with that freaking Kraken Shell?
Yeah. You couldn't have asked for a better timing there, so... You're asking just before about the scaling. I feel like there's a bit of an issue with how... I think we're going to get a little bit more value out of the Radiant supports and Dire, because I think the BKBs will counter the Clockwork Jakiro hookshot in. Because like AM eventually, I think will have to go BKB eventually. The Leshrac definitely will have it, and you're going to have 4 staffs to get out of that. But instead, Radiant, you've got like as a game goes on, instant Hex is incredible. I mean, take us back to the Any-Major. That was a big reason why we were seeing the Lion, because you just jump in, Hex someone, blow them up before there's any reaction. So
yeah, exactly. So later on, I feel like that really is going to be a big issue for Lonely Rock and Roll, right? Just to go for this like third item, Aghanim Scepter on the Slark, but he sort of feels like he needs a BKB as well. So while this Diffusal might kind of feel nice, it also puts them in a bit of a difficult position.
Again, they get the jump onto the Undying. It's so funny how both sides were just playing back and forth. Bocce was posturing aggressively, same with the Leshrac, and they both knew someone had vision nearby, so sentries were dropped to try and see where the ward was, but in the
they
end,
should at least get this tower. Hookshot's not up. And no Tumbler's Toy as well on Wenhout. No Ravage. So they should be able to take this tower.
Oh man, what an Earth Spike.
I said no Ravage.
Anti-Mage is looking to get in the middle of the team fight as well. D-Stones is in some trouble. Gotta be cautious about the Mana Void Heart. He's gonna try and target down Bocce actually. Now the Slark's gonna consider about getting involved, but he needs to be active. This is that nighttime that we were expecting him to be involved in some of the fights.
He's even going the Aghanim Shard as opposed to anything else. And I mean, it allows you to stay in on the front lines, sure. Avoid some of that instant lockdown coming through from Imitator, but again, where's the jump coming through outside of the Clockwork? You really can't afford to just commit your body first without the BKB, without having that extra range from the Aghanim Scepter. Trying to maybe get a catch here onto Phoenix is, just a little bit off the mark.
Big Ken's gonna be pretty cautious, man. This Lesh is your counter. You can't just run into him like that, and yeah, he's gonna back on off, and as a result, Wenhout, he won't be able to have the capability, and meanwhile, that's another solo kill for Heart onto the Nature's Prophet. So that is your carry getting freebies like that. He's top of the net worth, and I mean, too many solo kills like this, and he won't have a way into this game.
Nope. And he's nearly got a Manta Style picked up as well, so even more of that just quick burst potential onto these int cores. They're trying to maybe take this mid tower. Again, Undying is going to be the one that pays with his life. But, I mean, even 4-star starting to be
what's
built
stopping
up.
them?
Being a beefy boy.
I guess I thought Slark might poke, but maybe it was Shadow Dance on cooldown. It's a little bit hesitant.
They're building into 4-staffs against this, which honestly feels pretty great, right? I can't think of a much better 4-staff game. Get yourself out of EMP, get out of the leash from the Pounce, get out of the Sprout, get out of the Cogs. If I don't see like at least 3 4-stars come out from Team Bright, I'll be puzzled, let's say. Of course, Imitator does need to get that Blink Dagger first, but you're going to get so much value out of it.
I do like what they're doing though. Like, supports are starting to play with the Slark because this is strongest timing. And they're going to have 2 more minutes of the night time, and once that is over, we're going to see Radiant get pretty much firm control of the map. So,
right.
Like you said, they're going to...
Can they get any, like, good tier 2 neutral items to be able to play off of this? Maybe, like, a Vambrace would be kind of nice, just for a little bit of magic resistance onto the Slark. You might just want the attack speed as well. I don't know. I'm really feeling like Team Bright are in such a strong position, and they've put a ton of emphasis into defending this mid tier 1 tower for good reason as well. They've got the heroes to be able to do it. Imitator was, I mean, the clear star of that last fight, being able to land the 2-man Earth Spike that just forced them to back off completely, allowed Ravage to come off cooldown, and
Top tower is under
they're just... There's no reason for them to get super aggressive right now on Bright, you know? Like you mentioned, once you get into this Blink Dagger on the Lion, you feel so much stronger. Once you get into the BKB on the Leshrac, you feel so much stronger. Anti-Mage is going to continue to extend his net worth lead. 4 staffs are plenty.
So it's even Slark and Jakiro gonna try and smoke together. He ran a little bit close to the tower, so Smoke's gonna pop on Big Cam, but we'll be able to get a D ward. And now that they see the Slark, they're gonna be able to TP out at bottom. So this is off the back of the nighttime. They only get 2 kills. Does look like mid's gonna go down to the tree instead. So at least gonna be able to open up the map, but dude, Heart is just a monster.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we were speaking about like this Slark kind of wants to be playing from ahead or at least even, and he's not versus the anti-mage, so have to be very concerned with the status of this game. Radiant, they can take Roche very easily. 2 points Tombstone, got the Flesh Golem at the ready as well. They'll need a successful team fight, but once they take that, they can definitely consider about getting that Roche objective.
So, but now it's back to 20 minutes, right? So you're not going to have this vision advantage on the Slark. They're still a little bit away from being able to get that point booster to get into the Ags as well. I mean, the dream scenario is what? He gets onto the Lion, he's able to pop the Shadow Dance with the Dark Pact. There's no turnaround potential for Imitator. He blows him up really quickly.
They saw Irving TP bottom, so they're looking to try and make an attempt up. They'll be able to get the kill the Gleipnir, setting up for the Sunstrike, so something.
That's really what I was wanting to see from the start, right? Like, this Sunstrike just opens up so much more kill threat. You could even just look to do it with a support duo, right? Hookshot, Cogs, Ice Path, Macropyre, Sunstrike. And you're probably going to be able to get some kills if you get a few more points into that Exort. And it's going to give more space for your cores to actually spend time farming. I know it sucks that it's going to be, again, into this lineup that feels like it can scale better than yours, but I feel like that's sort of the way that you have to go about things. At least he's got the Midas as well on D-Stones to be able to play around with, so while his net worth is suffering for now, he's not completely out of this game.
No, not at all. And honestly, man, the nature's for the fact that he is where... Well? Ever out of it? I don't know. He knows how to play this hero without a doubt. A high level. Big Cam bottom lane. He's only got Phoenix behind him, which is probably the best hero you want whenever Slark's looking to get aggressive. So I'll respect.
They'll know that there's the Eggs up now, though. And they're instantly going to go for a smoke off the back of it. Nature's Prophet. Yeah, he's got the TP up in a couple of seconds. Gleipnir as well, Wrath of Nature. Scrap the Gleipnir. Use it onto the bottom lane to try and create some pressure down bottom. Maybe force a TP rotation. And then look to get a kill. But wisely enough, Team Bright, they're clumping together. Even going to get, or at least protect, this Arcane Rune. Ooh, gonna pick it up.
Will they?
Big
Ken got it. Oh, great timing there with the Dark Pact. He got stunned the once. He may have just been blown up with Imitator's position, but now this game gets really scary. Something we were a little bit cautious of in regards to Bright's lineup is how they'd be able to start fights, but you've got this blink on Imitator, so you can get the jump in before the Dark Pack or before the BKBs. Yeah, you got it now. Like, this is huge.
D-Stones is the target that they want. He's still a little bit short of that BKB. They know that he's going to need to be farming for this next little bit. Wenhau's in a pretty good position, though, to be able to pop any smokes. He's playing around those tree lines and Imitator. He'll at least find that initial pick-off with the stuns, but well, they're going to need to back off. All right. They know that they're going to have others following up, though. There's no way that a Lion goes for that sort of aggressive attempt solo.
But you also get confirmation now with the blink, so that could have been a huge pick-off. Meanwhile, Big Ken is solo killing the Undying under the tier 2 tower. So a little bit more essence. Still, there's a fight breaking up, though. Imitator still makes the attempt onto Wenhau, but the Clockwork's going to be able to get out of danger. Now, bottom, Big Can somehow wasn't able to secure the kill onto Undying. Phoenix was put in a position where he had to kind of protect his support.
I think I'm pretty satisfied with that, though. You've put the Shadow Dance on cooldown, so now he doesn't feel confident to go in aggressively. He just broke his ankles.
The net worth lead's only 1,000 though. It was at 5k when the nighttime expended, and now they've had day for every. It's going to happen every time you're against a Slark. Nighttime, Slark has a spike. Daytime, enemy team has a spike. So Bright needed to get more out of the map. But the fact that Dire are just moving around perfectly, no one's getting caught out, Nature's Prophet's catching up, Invoke is scaling. This means that again, when nighttime hits, then Radiant, they have to have a perfect team fight under vision, or this game could just flip instantly.
It really just puts the importance on like that previous gank attempt with a fresh Blink Dagger picked up on the Lion, right? They needed to catch a kill off the back of that. They'll know that there's vision up on that high ground, so they're saying, all right, well, where can we look to move up onto this high ground? What sort of avenue do we need to go into it?
They're going to know.
They'll know. Once again, I mean, are they just setting up to go into Roche?
They see Phoenix, so they're well aware this is going on. But I like this. You could have done this a little. Maybe they were waiting for some items. But now if you can't catch them because Lonely is splitting up the map too well, just force an objective. Make them come to you. Make them make the decision of either fighting or letting you get this big Roche.
Does Wenhao go for it? Yeah. Is what they needed to do. But again, the plus side, Prophet needs to be careful about how far he stays.
Ooh.
How quickly is Abash going to get queued up? He's got Butterfly there at the moment.
Gotta be cautious. He's going to jump into Dire. He can get a turn. They're going to have the damage to adjust with these heroes. Hookshot's off the mark. And now the Slark's in a lot of trouble. Ravage clips him on the outskirts. Heart's going to jump over the top of the Mana Void as well. Big Ken won't be able to jump to the low ground. Gets another charge of the pound, so the Slark will live. And they trade the Aegis as well. Somehow, Slark gets out.
Prophet will be dead though if they find him.
Prophet might not though. He drew through the trees. Very nicely done, but Imitator's going to find him. He'll be able to close the distance once again as the Blink reduced cooldown. So this time he will be able to get the Furin without the BKB to protect him.
That's the thing though, they're pushing out mid lane. They're getting something out of this. They're not just giving up everything for free. Top lane, that's even pushing in a little bit as well. So they're still looking to try and max out their efficiency whenever it's possible. But you just see the importance of having Imitator there, right? To be able to find that pick-off, to be able to find that gank, to be able to play around the lack of BKBs. They want to take these extended fights on Bright right now because they've got the anti-mage that's going to put you on top in terms of being able to win the mana battle.
Oh. Actually popped the BKB there from D-Stones.
Was it an accident? I feel like you felt like it was about to die. I mean, Imitator was right there. He's also got the Dust of Appearance as well, so even the Ghost Walk isn't going to save him. Is still looking to go into that 4-star, so Tide Force, Undying Force, Lion Force, I love it. And they're really wanting to play, even without this Aegis, around the top side of the map, if possible. Of course, it's so hard to be able to find places to farm. To place Observer Wards with the Slark, but it's just the reality of the situation. Imitator putting himself up on the top of the stairs near his Sentry Ward, not wanting to be backstabbed, and just giving a little bit of that lane vision as well. But again, they're just pushing out multiple lanes, aren't they? 2 for 1. They always try and get the better end of it. Lonely rock and roll. Bottom side, this time around, they won't have the glyph.
See the Nature's Prophet in the jungle. Imitator's nearby to be able to get the jump as well. BKB is back up. Let's see how fast his reactions are. And as the Sun Phoenix is able to fall up as well. So once again with the Nature's Prophet's going to be killed off without the boys playing with him. That was thanks to that ward setup. The clear forward that we see often. We was able to see that Dire started to move down to the bottom jungle, so they knew no one was playing behind him.
Gotta be a bit careful. Wow, Bocce's still level 9. Certainly suffering on this Jakiro.
And this ward.
They're just going back under the ward. They should know.
He's already used the Dark Pact. Ravage is ready from Irving if he's going to be able to find the angle. Big Ken wants to take the team fight. He's going to be able to dress the line, but the Ravage is out. Dark Pact soon to expire. Big Ken, can he live? Pounds down to the low ground and he's okay. But fights are still looking so messy for Lonely, and as a result, that favors Bright. 3 kills going their way.
Crazy that they chose to just walk up onto the high ground though, right? When you knew that they had vision there previously. again, D-Stone's doing his best to push on into this bottom side, really wants to try and prioritize that Scythe of Vice if possible, to be able to find that instant burst 100 to 0 on the Leshrac and the Anti-Mage, but, well, with 3 heroes dead, no one to be able to protect the tier 2 mid. They've still got tier 2 bot to be able to play around with, but it's the best they can do to try and force a TP back on the Tidehunter. Maybe now they look to make a play, considering they know that Tide has come back here, and even the Lion. Actually, did he just walk back? How the hell did he get back to base? I guess he did. They could certainly look to make this play, though. They should see that Tide has no TP, and he went from mid to bot.
Seems like they don't want to get aggressive here on Lonely. Content with finding farm and thinking they're going to be able to scale to the Radiant lineup. There's a window with the Ravage on cooldown. Still got a minute.
Again, if Slark gets into this BKB, they are strong enough. I'm just worried that they've left it way too long. Even under the Mage Slayer. For a little bit of that counter into the Lash as well. They'll probably have an AC as well by that point. Just 650 gold away on Nature's Prophet. Almost level 18 as well, so going to have that additional damage from the Wrath of Nature. And finally, they get rid of this ward.
Been up for far too long. A lot of vision they've been able to use. So a lot of they've been able to do across the map with this. And Heart's got a DD now, so how do you take the fight? It's going to be perfect into this. He's got Butterfly too. Knows no fear.
With that reduced blink cooldown, like you were saying before, he wants to be able to make those quick jumps. Just forced a hook shot for the defensive purposes. Any...
They might have...
They've got potential to put up a Tinker Ward, maybe. But he's just going to look to farm this next little bit. But again, you're getting into the AC on the Nature's Prophet. Like, he could just TP back and look to pick that one up quickly. He wants to keep this bottom lane pressured in, force them to make the defensive rotations once more. Again, D-Stones, he needs that Scythe of Vice. Slark needs that BKB. You don't really want to fight until you've got both. So it's just a question of who can get to their timing faster and who can influence the lanes to be able to push. Because right now, Bright, it really doesn't feel like they need much more. This BKB that Heart's going for feels like a little bit of a luxury.
D-Stones is wanting to fight. They saw that Phoenix TP'd down bottom, so was trying to see if he could maybe get an angle in with the Ghost Walk. Wasn't able to catch anyone off guard though. It seems like that's really what they're playing off though, right? Like Nature's Prophet pushing bottom, forcing a reaction, and then maybe taking a fight where you've got the numbers advantage, but Radiant doing a very good job at grouping up whenever they do lose one member.
You know I'm a fan of the Sprout Leash talent, but I'm not sure if Nature's Prophet is the one that you need to feed the tome over to. Like, he just got given it, and I mean, you're against 3-4 stars, we have to remember, and they're going into BKBs next, or they already have them. So they're going to be able to get out of that Sprout if you're using it as that initial burst.
Poacher Cure. Level 11. Guys, come on. And there's the BKB now for the Anti-Mage, so he's going to be able to have a bit of a window where he has his before the Slark.
Not that big of a window, though. Slark's nearly got it, and Invoker nearly has Scythe of Ice, and you've already got the AC on the Nature's Prophet.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Let's truly see if Dire are going to be able to scale. I mean, still, even though Nature's Prophet has 5 deaths, he's doing a great job to keep up in net worth. Supports on Dire very much taking a hit, though.
Maybe they actually want to fight into this high ground, if possible. You know, you can see that you're posturing very aggressively on everyone on Bright right now. And they're just, again, trying to slow the game down, force them back. It might be that you need to, like, play a little bit further away from each other. I don't know. I don't know exactly how Bright are doing this, because Lonely Rock and Roll, they're ratting quite effectively. You know, they're just doing Nature's Prophet things. At least he was able to get that BKB before the courier died on Big Cant. And there's that Scythe, so now do they look to...
Oh, I don't... With the hook shot off the mark, do they still want to make the attempt? Big Cant...
Don't think so.
Yeah. So there... Is this one of those games where Anti-Mage can 1v5? Because he's Yes, Lesh is very even in net worth, but he's got a vast majority of their lead.
Sure, I think it's, again, I don't think you're going to be 100-0ing the anti-mage. I think you need to kill these other targets first, and then hope that you can just win by strength of numbers.
Might see that be the case here. Smoke off from Lonely, maybe trying to connect. Great scan. Smoke's going to pop as well. They're under the ward. Irving, he's got the blink ready to work with. Follow-up's going to be there from Imitator as well. They're all grouped up for the Earth Spike. What a start to the fight for Irving. And now Bright, he can clean up. They all can. They caught out D-Stones as well. No buybacks for a couple of these members considering the big items they just completed.
Still going for a rat play up towards the top side, but mid's pushing in, so they won't have too much to worry about. Although the macro pyre will do a decent job of keeping the creeps away. Not going to be long enough, though. Got the next wave coming. They actually glyphed quite early as well. Probably could have waited another couple of seconds, but maybe wanting to protect the lane a little bit further. But yeah, top's gone. They get a glyph refresh. They're going to use that onto the next wave as well. Which is profit. He's actually gone the mischance for the sprouted units, which, again, like, are you just sprouting him when he jumps onto people? I guess. This is a great game for the Mana Void cooldown, though.
Is he there already?
Nearly.
Oh, okay. Far out.
With Roche, they probably will be. Do you go for an all-in play here? Ibex coming through. Invoker, no boots of travel, so he's going to need to slowly walk his way over.
I think they saw Imitator with the rocket flare, so they know that the Lion's in a spot to pop there. He tried to jump in and steal the Age on the Nature's Prophet. Now he's in the middle of everyone. Can he stand strong off the back of the Fury with the BKB? But the rest of Dire, finally D-Stone's going to be able to get into the middle, trying to drop the combo to keep the Furion alive. They'll be able to secure the kill. And now D-Stones, he's in such a compromised position. He's asking for a 4-star. Can someone give it to him, though? When Howard's still on cooldown. D-Stones, they have detection, though. D-Stones living for the moment, slips out to the left. Meanwhile, Hearts, man, 1v1ing Big Cannon, a huge Mana Void. Spells the end of the game, as Bright will send us to a game 3.
Felt like a bit of desperation play at the very end there, didn't it? Just being able to go right inside.